What if I told you that the last American man to win a Grand Slam was over 20 years ago? It sounds impossible, right? This is a country that produced legends like Pete Sampras, Andre Agassi, John McEnroe, and Jimmy Connors, yet since Andy Roddick's famous US Open win in 2003, there hasn't been a single American man holding up a major trophy. Not in New York, not in Melbourne, not in Paris, not even on the grass courts of Wimbledon. So what really happened? How did a tennis powerhouse lose its grip? And more importantly, is there hope for a comeback? In this video, we're diving deep into the rise and fall of American men's tennis, the reasons behind the drought, and what the future might hold. And trust me, this goes beyond just talent. We're talking culture shifts, funding priorities, international invasions, and even college tennis. So stay till the end because this isn't just about tennis. It's about the evolution of American sports itself. In 2003, Andy Roddick won the US Open, rocketing serves at 140 plus miles per hour and punching his ticket into the hearts of American sports fans. At just 21, he became the youngest American to win a Grand Slam since Pete Sampras. The win felt like the continuation of a legacy. Sampras, Agassi, Courier, Chang, and now Roddick. America had its next torchbearer. But what followed wasn't a dynasty, it was a drought. In the years that followed, Roddick reached 4 more Grand Slam finals, losing all of them to Roger Federer. After that, no American man has even made a Grand Slam final since 2 decades. 0 finals, 0 Grand Slam wins, 0 new household names. So what happened? Roddick wasn't a one-hit wonder. He stayed in the top 10 for years, competed fiercely, and played with passion. But while he was grinding it out on hard courts and trying to evolve his all-power game, the rest of the tennis world was shifting. Federer, Nadal, Djokovic, and eventually Murray created a big four that redefined dominance, and America couldn't keep up. Was it just bad timing? Maybe. But is it also something deeper? Absolutely. You can argue Roddick's 2003 win was the end of an era where American tennis players dominated through sheer athleticism and big serves. But when tennis evolved into a sport of endurance, precision, and relentless defense, American development didn't adapt quickly enough. While countries like Spain, Serbia, and Russia produced clay-hardened tacticians and grinders, the US kept betting on power games and college tennis pathways. That strategy might have worked in the 90s, but by 2010, it was outdated. And here's where it gets uncomfortable. It's not just about talent, it's about a system that maybe stopped innovating when the rest of the world accelerated. So let's explore that system next. The USTA, United States Tennis Association, launched its player development program with good intentions, but somewhere along the way, it lost the plot. With one of the biggest budgets in the tennis world, you'd expect the USTA to churn out champions regularly. Instead, many critics say it produced robotic players who lacked grit, individuality, and killer instinct on the big stage. Why? Because for a long time, the USTA focused on creating a standardized American player. Same backhand grips, same fitness programs, same tactical plans. While other countries nurtured unique styles, Spain letting players like Nadal grind on clay or Russia allowing Medvedev's unorthodox style to flourish, the USTA tried to mass-produce talent like it was running a factory. Coaches inside the system began to complain about bureaucracy. Innovation was discouraged, and players were either in or out of favor depending on their compliance with the system. Remember Donald Young? He was the golden child of American tennis in the mid-2000s. Pushed into the spotlight early, hyped beyond belief, but the pressure crushed him. His development stalled. The system couldn't adapt to his needs. Or take Ryan Harrison, massive talent, massive expectations, but no breakthrough. Jack Sock had a monster forehand and even won double slams. Still, no singles success at the top level. In contrast, countries with much smaller talent pools, like Serbia or Austria, produced Grand Slam champions by customizing their development plans and trusting local coaches. So the question isn't whether America has talent, it does. The question is, why hasn't that talent turned into dominance? Part of the answer lies in how young athletes are molded and whether they're allowed to find their unique game or squeezed into a system that values sameness over greatness. Another factor, the American college tennis system. It's a double-edged sword. On one hand, college tennis provides education, maturity, and structured match play. On the other, it delays entry into the Pro Tour, where players today are breaking through at 18 or 19. By the time many college players go pro, they're already behind their international peers who've spent years grinding on the ATP Challenger circuit. Take someone like Ben Shelton, arguably the most promising young American today. He played college tennis at Florida, won the NCAA title, and exploded on tour in 2023. His athleticism and confidence are electric, but here's the thing. He's the exception, not the rule. Most college players struggle to make it past ATP ranking 100. The transition is brutal, the physicality, the grind, the mental warfare. It's a steep learning curve. Compare that to Carlos Alcaraz. No college, straight into pro tennis by 16. By 20, he had already won 2 Grand Slams. The difference in preparation and exposure is massive. This isn't to say college tennis is bad, it's just not the most efficient route to greatness in today's hyper-competitive, physically demanding game. So, why do so many American players go the college route? Partly because it's safer. Tennis is expensive, most families want a backup plan. A scholarship makes financial sense. But while European and South American players go all in by age 15 or 16, many Americans are still playing high school tennis or juggling SATs. It's a cultural difference, and it might be costing America its next tennis superstar. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Is tennis even cool in America anymore? In the 90s, tennis was mainstream. Sampras versus Agassi, packed stadiums, magazine covers, late-night interviews, kids wanted to be like them. But today, tennis is barely visible in American pop culture. The average American sports fan follows the NFL, NBA, and maybe MLB. Tennis barely cracks the conversation unless Serena Williams or Coco Gauff is playing. And that's the thing. Women's tennis in the US is thriving. But for the men, the star power has faded. There are several reasons for this. First, tennis is expensive. Rackets, coaching, travel, it's not accessible to everyone. Sports like basketball or football, just grab a ball and play. Second, tennis has a marketing problem. Young players like Taylor Fritz or Frances Tiafoe are talented, but are they culturally relevant? Do they move the needle like a Ja Morant or a Travis Kelce? Not yet. Third, the internationalization of tennis means that stars are now global. Alcaraz, Sinner, Djokovic, these guys are rock stars in Europe and Latin America. But American networks often don't promote them the way they do homegrown talent. And finally, tennis lacks drama. At least, that's the perception. The sport feels too polite, too clean, too elite. In an age where viral moments, trash talk, and rivalries sell tickets, tennis hasn't fully adapted, so the decline of American men's tennis isn't just a development issue, it's cultural, it's systemic, and it's reflected in how kids choose their idols. Despite all of this, there is reason to believe the tide might be turning. Ben Shelton, Taylor Fritz, Frances Tiafoe, Tommy Paul, Sebastian Korda, this group of players is promising. They're athletic, they're charismatic, they're finally breaking into the top 20 and making slam quarterfinals and semis. Ben Shelton in particular feels like the one to watch. That lefty serve, that swagger, it's different, and it connects with fans. He's marketing gold if the USTA plays it right. Tiafoe brings joy and personality. Fritz has the game, Paul has the fight, Korda has the technique. But are any of them future Grand Slam champions? That's the big question, because it's not about making slam quarterfinals. It's about winning them. For the US to re-enter the conversation as a tennis powerhouse, one of these guys needs to lift a trophy. That's the bar. And until it happens, the narrative doesn't change. The good news? These players are young, confident, and no longer afraid of the spotlight. They're training harder, traveling more, hiring global coaches, and they seem hungry to prove people wrong. If the USTA steps back and lets them find their own path instead of forcing another system, maybe, just maybe, one of them will break through. But will it be enough to end the drought, or are we still years away from a real comeback? So now I want to hear from you. Is American men's tennis truly in decline? Or are we just expecting too much, too soon? Do you think players like Ben Shelton or Tiafoe can win a slam? Or will the next great champion come out of nowhere? Let's open up this debate in the comments, because this isn't just about tennis. It's about culture, pressure, and how greatness is built in the modern era. Drop your thoughts below, and if you think American tennis is due for a comeback, hit that like button and share this with someone who's still holding on to hope. See you in the next one.